So, retiring early, it's the dream, right? But for a lot of people, especially around that 59 and a half mark, it can also bring a whole lot of financial anxiety. Well, in this explainer, we're going to walk through how you can build a plan to retire with real confidence. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. This is the big question for anyone looking at early retirement. How in the world can you spend more and really enjoy those first few years without, wrecking your financial future down the road? The great news? You actually don't have to choose between the two. So, what's the deal? Why do so many people retire and then immediately start clamping down on their spending? Well, it almost always comes down to four really common fears. Let's break them down one by one. All right, fear number one, the market taking a nosedive. I mean, when you see your portfolio drop, what's your first instinct? It's to pull back, right? To stop spending. It's a totally natural gut reaction. This is all tied to something called sequence of returns risk, which is just a fancy way of saying that a bad market right when you retire can have a massive, and I mean massive, negative impact on your money long term. Okay, fear number two is the flip side, really. It's the fear of overspending during what we call the go-go years. You know what I'm talking about, those first 5, 10 years of retirement when you're finally traveling, you're doing those home upgrades, maybe helping out the kids or grandkids. It's awesome. But it's also really easy to worry that all this fun right now might mean you're left high and dry later. And then there's the big one, healthcare. If you retire before you hit 65, you've got this gap you have to cross before Medicare kicks in. We call it the healthcare bridge, and boy, can it be expensive. Whether you're using COBRA to stay on your old work plan or getting something from the ACA marketplace, those costs can be a huge source of stress. It's a major reason why people feel like they have to cut back everywhere else. Last but not least, fear number four, taxes. Look, without a really smart strategy for how you take your money out, which accounts to tap into and when, you could accidentally bump yourself into a much higher tax bracket. And that means you're just handing over way more money to the government than you have to, which of course just eats away at your savings. Okay, so those are the fears. How do we fight back? How do you actually overcome all that anxiety? Well, the key, the absolute foundation, is to create a guaranteed stream of income. Think of it like a paycheck for life, something you know is coming in every single month no matter what the stock market is up to. And the main tool we use to build that paycheck is something called a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit. It's a bit of a mouthful, so we just call it a GLW. Basically, it's a feature you can add onto an annuity, and it does exactly what it says. It gives you a contractually guaranteed income for life. Now, this is why a GLWB is such a game changer. It fundamentally separates your essential income, the money you need for your bills, for your life, from the ups and downs of the market. And what that means is you don't have to panic and cut your spending when the market gets rocky. Why? Because your paycheck is secure. It's locked in. But here's the really cool part. A GLWB isn't some cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all thing. The real power is that you can totally customize your income stream to perfectly match the different stages of your retirement life. You've basically got 3 main flavors to choose from. First, there's an advanced payout. This is perfect for those go-go years we talked about. You get a bigger paycheck up front when you're traveling and spending more, and then it adjusts to a bit less later on. Then you have the level payout. This is your classic, steady retirement paycheck, the same amount year in and year out. Super predictable. And finally, there's an increasing payout. This one starts a little smaller but grows over time, which is an amazing way to fight back against inflation and protect your buying power for the long haul. So, we've got our guaranteed income stream set up. That's the foundation. But to build a truly complete safety net, we need to protect ourselves from a couple of other huge financial risks that can pop up. First up, we've got to protect your spouse. This is so important. If something were to happen to you, your spouse could see a huge drop in their income. For example, with Social Security, they generally only get to keep the higher of the two benefits, not both. Suddenly, their whole financial picture changes. That's where life insurance comes in. It acts as an instant safety net, replacing that lost income so their lifestyle doesn't have to change while they're grieving. The other major risk, and this one is a financial wrecking ball, is the cost of long-term care. A single major health event can just decimate hundreds of thousands of dollars from your savings. It's brutal. But having long-term care protection, like an insurance policy, shields your nest egg. It means you don't have to start selling off the very investments that were supposed to fund your retirement just to pay for care. So when you put these 3 pieces together, you've got your guaranteed income, You've got protection for your spouse, and you've got a shield against long-term care costs. Well, the whole dynamic shifts. You literally move from a place of fear to one of real, genuine confidence. So, let's just recap the game plan here. Your path to being able to spend confidently is really a four-step process. 1. Secure that lifetime income with a GLWB to cover all your essential bills. 2. Protect your spouse's future with life insurance. 3. Shield your savings from healthcare costs. And 4. Once those are in place, you can build a much more flexible, dynamic plan for the rest of your investments. And really, that's what it's all about. That's the end goal right there. It's about turning all that financial anxiety into the freedom to actually go out and enjoy the retirement that you've worked so hard for. So if you'd like some help putting these pieces together, comparing different annuities and insurance options to build a plan that's perfect for your own early retirement, we at The Annuity Expert would love to help. Our services are always completely free. Just give us a call for a consultation. You can reach us at 770-755-1565 or just visit our website.